Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to New Japan Puroresu Review, and welcome this week myself, Andre C., my co-host Melball, and her furry little co-host Kojima. And
Koji, be excited! We're
This
talking
week-
about New Japan.
this week we are here for the Tag League Primer. We are going to be previewing the teams in the Super Junior Tag League and in the World Tag League, ladies and gentlemen. Melbar, are you excited for this tournament?
I am so excited for this tournament. I love the tag team tournaments that come out of New Japan because they are some of my most favorites. And they're my most favorites because it shows the team unity. It shows the camaraderie that happens with these teams and how much they work together. I can't wait to see it, and you are going to want to watch it.
And I think this year is one of the best years just because of we got so many new teams and new mixes of teams of we've seen many times before. We have mixes for this year. But before we go into the Super Junior Tag, I want to give a shout out to Rogue Energy. I got my Mina Shirakawa special right here, and you can get their stuff and many more down QR code down there or the link down below. Code OLE Pods gets you 10% off your order. I'm drinking the Blood Orange, beautifully tasting drink. Oh, and it's really picked me up today.
I was gonna say you're starting to get excited now.
You see me last week. I was drinking the same thing. This was recorded just after. It's hard to say, but yeah, it's really picking me up, and I'm really loving it. And the orange one tastes like like you're eating an orange.
I actually bought a canister of the Rocket Pop one, and the Rocket Pop one tastes like you are eating a popsicle, which is preferable to being outside right now and actually being a popsicle. It has just snowed here for us. The roads are atrocious. I nearly died. Yeah, don't remind me. That being said, let's get into it, Andre. We got a lot of teams to go over.
So we are going to start with the Super Junior Tag League. And first up on the Super Junior Tag League is the team of Alex Zane and El Lindemann. You were very surprised that Alex Zane is considered a junior heavyweight.
Yeah, I find him quite tall.
But he was in the Super Junior this year, so.
That's true, but he was a lot smaller in the Super Juniors this year. I feel like he has bulked up quite a bit with that muscle tone and a size since then to be comparable to his tag team partner, El Lindemann, who had an also incredible going in the was it the Super Junior earlier? Yeah.
Yeah, back in the spring there, yeah.
Very incredible traditional classic style wrestler combined with the uniqueness of Alex Zane. I'm very curious to see how this team does. I'm a fan of both of these guys independently. I honestly do kind of like stalk Lindemann on Instagram because he posts a lot of fitness posts.
But I really think this team is, going to be one of the most unorthodox teams of them all. And I think it's going to be one of the most surprising combinations, being that these guys don't have any history with each other except for wrestling each other in the tag leagues or in the Super Juniors. So we will see what happens with the team. So we're going to move on to the next tag team in the Super Juniors. And it is from the Bullet Club, baby. It is Ace Austin, Chris Bay, representing Impact Wrestling, coming over for the New Japan Super Junior Tag League. Now, again, they both were, actually, Ace Austin was in the in the Best of the Super Juniors earlier this year. Was Chris Bay in there? I can't remember.
I don't think. No. He was performing with Bullet Club in the U.S. at that time.
Yes, he was with Tag with Jay Way, and and again.
And
all these people's involvement in that Super Junior really expected a lot more people to come from outside to be in the G1 this year, which didn't have as much outside representation that year. So I think this year and getting to see these guys back for the Super Junior Tag League, I think is absolutely wonderful. They've teamed together multiple times in Impact Wrestling now, representing Bullet Club, and I think this is going to be a great team to really watch going forward in this tag team. I think I don't think they're going to win, but I think they're going to have a very great showing in this tournament.
Oh, very, very much so. With their X Division backgrounds, that very high speed, like jumping, they're just going to have a great. They're not going to be, I think, as balanced as someone like, say, Zayn and Lindemann, but I think they're going to put up a really good fight. I'm just a big Ace Austin's fan.
There we go. The third team in this Super Junior Tag League is the new team of Yo and Lio Rush. I think with Lio Rush saving Yo at the New Japan Rumble in 44th Street, I had a feeling that this was going to be their Super Junior Tag League team. I had that feeling there, and I was right. And I'm excited because this is the team I think could win. This is one of the couple teams that I think has a good chance at winning, because Yo has been getting a great push, and I think Lio Rush is coming in for a reason. I don't think he's coming in to be a guy just to be on part of a team that takes a bunch of falls. I think towards the end of this tournament, I think whether they're going to be in the finals or not, they have a great shot at winning this tournament. I think they're going to be relevant all the way to the final night.
I have to agree. I feel like Lio Rush, on top of being, a very great performer, very great entertainer, very talented in-ring wrestler and performer, I do feel that despite what some people might say online about him and his whining, I think that he is actually a very intelligent businessman. And I don't think he wouldn't have signed anything with New Japan if he was going to be taking some high profile kind of losses. So I think you're right. I think that this team could actually have the contention to be in the finals, if not the winning guys for this guy. Although I will have to say I'm pretty sweet on Alex Zayn and Lindemann's team right now, but we'll see what else we got to offer.
And we have the former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, the team of Flying Tiger, Tiger Mask 4, and Robbie Eagles. Again, these two have been tag teaming for a long time together, but we haven't seen either of these men on New Japan for a while. That's the thing, and I'm glad to see them back, because I really like both men. Right here, I've got my old Birds of Prey representing Will Ospreay and Robbie Eagles. So shout out for Robbie Eagles. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, I like the combination of these two guys. I feel that the two of them together, they actually come up with some very, very incredible moves with that experience and knowledge coming from Tiger Mask. And then that's that young ability that Robbie Eagles has, along with that creativity that he has and that he undoubtedly showed while teaming with Ospreay. I think that this team has the potential to go pretty far again. I believe aren't they former tag champions, IWGP Junior champions?
I said, they're the IWGP. They were former. Yeah. They were actually the champs, I think, during last year's tournament.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're. It's not like they're long off being champions, but I think they're showing this tournament they'll do very well. But I think looking at this next team, House of Torture, Show, and Dick Togo, I don't like saying this, but I think they have one of the biggest shots at winning this tournament out of every team. They've been teaming together the longest out of most of these teams, and I think they have a shot at taking this tournament. It's not that I want them to, because they're going to just keep cheating the whole time, but I think they have a good chance. I think they're going to be relevant up until the end, if not into the finals. So.
I have to agree that they have almost that kind of that similar combination that Tiger Mask and Robbie Eagles has, in that you have that veteran experience and knowledge from Dick Togo, who, as much as I hate to say it, I mean, when Dick Togo wrestles, he's very efficient at what it is that he's a very, very good wrestler, very competent wrestler. Blah, 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 spit it out, Melball. In combination with that, again, the young kind of ferocity that Show is very much so showing, and Show himself a very, very accomplished in-ring competitor. I have to agree, this could be another strong contention. But then with their shenanigans,
the shenanigans might get them there. That's the thing.
Exactly, and that is the problem.
That's the problem. But we're going to move on to another team, and he is back, ladies and gentlemen. He is obviously has
The
recovered
time
quite
splitter.
well. You have Kushida teaming up with the LA Dojo's Kevin Knight, who you will see on the November 20th show as part of the pre-show's LA Dojo versus New Japan Dojo show. I think he is in that, but I think honestly this team is going to absolutely rock it, and I love Kushida, and again he is teamed up with a young lion. Or
That's
guy
not
just
just
coming.
any young
I don't think
lion.
he's a young lion anymore. I think he
He
has
is.
graduated the dojo,
Is he?
but I think so. But he's not like they're not. Kushida's not coming in this to be the guy to be on a team that's taking a bunch of losses. This team is going to be relevant throughout this tournament, but I don't think are going to win it.
I agree. This is going to be a learning experience for Knight. Kushida, a very, very talented Super Junior, very accomplished
Again,
Super Junior.
vet and rookie, vet and young
Exactly.
guy. You're seeing that a lot in the Super Juniors this year,
man. Almost arguably, I'd say this is probably the youngest kind of person that we see tagged in that combination, where you have someone who's a fresh young lion, fresh off that young lioness.
We got one more team where you've got that too coming up.
Okay. Right. Yes, right. But you're absolutely right. I think Kushida is not going to come in here and be silent. He did just he did come back from infection and everything, but he was the number one contender at that point for Ishimori, facing him for his title. So again, I don't think. Yeah, I think you're right. He is going to come in here and kind of be that. I don't want to say like the shining one on this team, but he is certainly going to, I think, be the torchbearer of it.
I also think this is a great spot for Kevin Knight to be teamed up with a guy like Kushida to really give him a great platform to show what he can do.
Oh, 100%.
Teaming up with this guy, people are going to pay attention to this team. That's the thing. So they're going to be paying attention to Kevin Knight.
100%.
So we're going probably to Mel's favorite team in this tag league. It's the team from Losengard, but it's de Japon, Bushi and Teton. I'm going to say it right this time. But yeah, these two I think are one of, like I'm saying, like I said, one of my picks is my in my heart pick is Yo and Leo Rush. I think the consensus favorite in this tournament to win is this team right here, because they just came off a awesome tag team title match with United Empire. I could see them getting a shot.
100%. I this is my team. This is my group, my jam, my LIJ, my Los Ingobernables. I've said it before. I'll say it again. No team can just pull off all of their things with zero communication like LIJ. It's just like they've worked together so well. They know each other's cues so well that they know. And Teton and Bushi are really no different. For how little they seemingly have worked together, they play off each other very, very well and know where they're going into the next kind of move. This is definitely my pick to take it all. I hope I'm right, because would make this guy very sad.
And then you have a new team again, another veteran, and
how does he do
recently
his
graduated young lion? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know how he does it. Again, a recently graduated young lion and a veteran in Ryusuke Taguchi and Clark Connors. I think again you're seeing it in multiple teams. What is it? One, you have Yo and Leo Rush, again, young guy, veteran. You have Tiger Mask and Robbie Eagles, young guy, veteran. You have Kushida and Kevin Knight, young guy, veteran. You have Taguchi and Clark Connors, young guy, veteran. This tag league is about, I think, again, this year more than anything, showing off new faces and kind of reigniting people to get people interested in this tag league. I think that's a big thing this year.
Two things I want to say about this joining. Taguchi, I love you and everything, but figure out who your partner is and try to keep them. I feel like Taguchi is kind of going through a lot of partners.
You can't get mad at him, though, because Wado did kind of abandon him to go
true.
Into the singles ranks. So you can't get mad at Taguchi on that one. But yeah, I'll say this. I've
seen him with more partners.
I've never been a huge fan. I was surprised that it wasn't announced that Rocky Romero would be his partner and reforming the
Hey,
coaches. That's honestly what I
yeah,
was
that would have been
going to say.
great.
I thought they're going to reform the coaches, and that was going to be a team. But
I
I
think
absolutely
Rocky's
love
doing
it.
good at AEW though.
Oh, but I think, oh no, with New Japan Strong, he's running
And
that
strong, yeah.
actually. Yeah, but I really think Clark Connors is going to, again, this is going to be another one where I think he's going to show up and really show out on how good that he actually is. Again, I don't think I've seen a team in this tournament that's going to be that team to take all the losses. I really don't think there is that team this year.
And something also interesting with Clark Connors also, he's coming off of that incredible match that he just had at 44th Street with Minoru Suzuki. Yeah, with Angry Grandpa there. And we know Minoru Suzuki, he is no junior. He just contended with a heavyweight who had no problem slapping the spit out of his mouth. So that's going to be an interesting, I think, deciding factor for this team in particular.
Like you were saying about Alex Zane, I think Clark Connors is the same kind of guy who's just right on the edge of the junior level. I think he's right at the top end, like
thick thighs, man.
Gain a couple pounds, he's no longer a junior kind of level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So from here we move on to the team from Suzuki Gun, and it is Yoshinobu Kanemaru and the Doki. Like,
I'm disappointed to not see Desperado.
But again, he's in the 4-way at Wrestle Kingdom, so he can't wrestle the other match, so you can't put him in the tag league for a shot at the title. So Doki stepping in to team with Yoshinobu Kanemaru makes a lot of sense.
It does. It does. It will be interesting to see how these two kind of coexist. I do think that they've worked together in their multi-man tag matches in the last few years, but I don't recall actually seeing these two in particular really working together as a tag team as closely as, say, Yoshinobu Kanemaru and Desperado or Tai Chi.
They've had odd tags here and there, but again, they are a unit. They're part of. They come from the same group, so that's going to be a good advantage to them that they are
100%.
familiar with each other. So they are going to be able to work together. And then finally, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, the United Empires, TJP and Francisco Akira, crowns up for the best Super Junior Heavyweight Tag Team in this tournament, in my opinion. I love these guys, and again, I would pick them. Except for the fact that they're champions, I would love to see the champions win it and pick their challengers at Wrestle Kingdom. I would love to see that, but again, they're not my pick to win this. But I am absolutely excited to see every match that get it. They're going to be relevant up to the end because there's no way the tag team champions aren't relevant till the final night. But I don't see they could end up in the finals to lose to who they're going to face at Wrestle Kingdom.
I wouldn't mind seeing that, especially if we are saying that it's potentially going to be Titan and Bushi. I mean, we did just see them have a match, but that match, I felt left things. Yeah. That being said, though, I feel that they left some things untouched in their match, and I feel that a rematch would be very acceptable to me.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think I could really see them topping that match if it is Bushi and Titan going into Wrestle Kingdom, but we will see. So that is all the teams in the Super Junior Tag League. Now, at the same time, running concurrently will be the World Tag League that does happen at the end of every year. Again, this is and two of the World Tag League the last 2-3 years. I have been kind of underwhelmed with this tournament because it's the exact same teams every year, exact same combination. So I've been a little tired. But this year it is different. We're going to be missing the team of Zack Sabre Jr. and Taichi this year because Zack Sabre Jr. is in the finals for the TV title, so he cannot face in the tag league this year. So we have a bunch of new tag teams and new combinations of teams. Like I look at this thing, I see maybe half of them are old teams coming into this. Starting right here from the LA Dojo. You have Alex Coughlin and Gabriel Kidd, both not LA, but like both graduates of the LA Dojo. I look forward to seeing what both these guys bring. But again, like I said in the Super Juniors, I didn't see a team that would be taking pins. And this is nothing against either man because I think both are absolutely phenomenal in what they do. This is the team that I think if any team is going to be the one to take pins, it's this one.
That being said, that's a pretty strong mustache coming there from Alex Coughlin, and if we've been following him, we know that those thighs are pretty much just as strong. Gabe Kidd has always been someone that I've always enjoyed. I do believe I saw him wrestle as Zack Sabre Jr. in a New Japan match, and that was absolutely incredible. The kid's going to go far. I think that this is a really, really good tag team, but I do think that I have to agree. If we are looking at a team that is probably going to take more losses than wins, unfortunately, it is probably going to be these guys. But again, as you said, it's nothing against them. We both know the incredible talents that they are, but we also know the incredible talents that the rest of the teams are.
Yeah, that's the thing. And then you have, so next up is the team that I am picking to win this tournament. This is my pick. Personally, this is my pick. Again, it is my fandom of the United Empire. But
Another strong mustache.
But these guys had an absolutely phenomenal tear the house down match with FTR at Royal Quest 2. I think these guys are ready to be the tag team to lead this company. And I think them coming I think they're ready to be in Japan full time. And I think and as much as I love FTR, I would love to see these guys take the titles at Wrestle Kingdom from FTR. That's why and with Jeff Cobb stepping away out of his tag team, I think it puts more doubt in Okan's tag team going forward. So I think this is the tag team, going to be the main championship tag team for UE for the next while.
I have to agree that these guys, from what little I have seen, as I mentioned before, I haven't seen a ton of these guys, but what I have seen is very, very impressive. Obviously, they're where they are standing in the world for a reason, and I'm interested to see how they do in the tag matches and in this tag league, especially going up against some of the other teams that we have coming up here. Do I think that they could win it all? Well, let's discuss the rest of the teams, and then we'll maybe discuss that.
So next up is a team that I really don't think is winning this. And again, another team I could see being one of those teams that takes falls for a lot of people. That is the General's Jewel, representing the Bullet Club, is that our new our new
savior.
Coach.
No, the savior is the right word.
Our savior and life coach. It's really weird saying that. And his tag team partner Chase Owens. Again, the savior and life coach thing is more a lot of the great inspirational things that Bad Luck Fale has been posting online. If you do not follow him on social media, you are crazy, because his stuff, him and Tony Casina are changing lives out there, in my opinion.
Oh.
But again,
I can't tell you how many times I have watched, I have no shame in saying this, watched an inspirational video that he has posted and just sat there going, I gotta send this to Andre.
Me too. And then you make me cry afterwards, and I'm just in a blubbering mess. Thanks so much for that.
Seriously, if you ever are feeling low or you're feeling down about yourself, please give Bad Luck Fale a follow. I will even go the extra mile, and I will leave his socials in the description box below.
Baby.
You need some Fale in your life, because he's just going to keep you waking up in the morning.
Now, I did say during the G1, I didn't need Fale in the ring. I am less opposed here with the fact that he is teaming up with Chase Owens, who I do find, I think Chase Owens has really evolved his game over the last couple of years. And I think this is the kind of team where Chase Owens will be the person to be in there for the majority of the match, and Fale will come in, do the big spots, do the power spots, and then like Chase Owens will be the work rate guy for their tag team. But again, I don't see them being a team in contention to win this. If they did, I would be very surprised, but I don't see it happening.
I agree. Unfortunately, because I love Chase Owens. I've really, really enjoyed his in-ring performance and the way he entertains me. But I do have to agree. Unfortunately, I don't see this team being in the semifinals.
Yeah, that's the biggest issue. But here's a team that we could see in contention down to the end.
Yes.
And that is the former IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi. again, I've always been a Goto fan. That dude is absolutely phenomenal. But this year has really turned me into a Yoshihashi fan. And like I'm not picking them to win this, but I could see them. They're going to be there in the final couple of nights, really still in contention. I don't know if there's going to be a finals where the top two teams face off. I don't know because every team is facing off in this tournament. But I could see them being in contention down to the last couple of nights. So.
I agree. I mean, I've said it before, G1 Yoshihashi shows up and he's usually really good. This year, it almost seems like G1 Yoshihashi showed up and he hasn't left yet. And that's good because non-G1 Yoshihashi is just not even nearly as entertaining as G1 Yoshihashi. So yeah, and I share your sentiment. Goto has always been a favorite of mine. From the moment I saw him, from his entrance, his music, the way he wrestles, the intensity that he has, he is one of my personal favorites. And you're absolutely right. He doesn't get the sensationalism that he used to back in the day. But this team could have the potential. They are former champions. You never know how they're going to perform. I mean, we'll see.
They're going to be there at the end. I know that's going to happen. They're going to be down. They're going to be still in contention at the end. It's going to happen.
Let's hope so.
Yeah. And to me, this is the biggest dark horse team to win this tournament. It's Hiroshi Tanahashi. The man wins tournaments. The man wins championships. It's simple as that.
That ain't a lie. That isn't a lie.
Toru Yano, which could be the biggest weight holding him back from winning this tournament, is Toru Yano. Now, which Toru Yano do we get each night? That is the question. Do we get his crazy GBH, Great Bash Heel, like, I'm going to kick the shit out of everybody, Toru Yano? Is it going to be old school, I'm going to wrestle the hell out of everybody, Toru Yano? Or is it going to be goofy, stupid, the Toru Yano that I don't want to see in this tournament?
Has tape stuff down his pants?
Yeah. So this is, to me, a dark horse team to win this. In that, depending on how Yano shows up, will depend on how this team does.
At the very, very least, it's going to be the entertainment part of the show. That Tanahashi is going to own this and he is going to have a lot of fun with it. You know how I feel about Yano. I mean, I don't have a ton of faith in him. However, we have gotten the GBH Yano in the past, and that Yano, in combination with Tanahashi wearing the black jackets, doing the deep squat with their, little mullet, windswept mullet thing going on. I wouldn't be angry if that Tanahashi and Yano showed up and took a couple matches like that. So, I have hope. I don't think they're going to win it, but I think they're going to have a lot of fun with it.
Like I said, they're a dark choice pick. For me. I think they're a dark horse type pick. Like there is that chance, but I don't think it will be because, again, for me, it's Aussie Open. Simple as that. It's Aussie Open for me. I think there is a chance that this team is in contention and possibly winning this.
We shall see.
Tanahashi, he's a winner. He's an ace.
He is, and technically so is Yano.
Yeah, and then you have the team that I don't want to see ever wrestle in anything. The team of Evil and Yujiro Takahashi, and
unless they bring Peter.
Don't get me wrong, I like seeing Peter, but put these guys put the Yujiro on the undercard every night. We can see Peter there, and then I don't have to see them in the tag league because I don't want to see either of these people. And the problem is their shenanigans are going to give them a bunch of wins in this tournament, and they're going to be a team that, even though nobody likes them, and I don't understand, I except for maybe Gato, who keeps booking them to succeed. I honestly have never. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out of anybody I talked to about New Japan Pro Wrestling. I don't think any person I've ever talked to about it has a good word to say about this team.
Yeah, I mean, before, like when Evil was, LIJ, that would probably be a different story. And when he did turn on Los Ingobernables and join the Bullet Club, I mean, that was both a heartbreaking yet iconic moment for myself, because I did really like the aesthetic look that Bullet Club gave to Evil. I feel that his look overwhelmingly improved. What I don't like is the scythe being gone. I liked the scythe. But I definitely feel that they've.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah, they did Evil dirty. I feel that the gimmick he has kind of end up in with this whole bad guy shenanigans, people with the Garrett and the wrench and all of this has just really devalued him as an entertainer and as a wrestler to the point where we don't want to watch him. But he's actually a good wrestler. It's very frustrating as a fan because I don't want to see him fall off into obscurity. I want to see him winning titles, but I don't want to see him doing it in the manner of which he is doing it currently.
I'd be okay if he fell off into obscurity if he's never going to go back to winning. But yeah.
I just want to be able to get one of those little scythes when they come back into merchandising when he decides to stop all of this teenage adolescent angst stuff. He's going through a phase. I'm hoping he will come back.
Yeah. So we're going to move on to another team who I think have a high % chance of winning this, and that is Tetsuya Naito and Sonata. Again, I am not picking them to win because they're not the team I want to win this, but I can't say they don't have a really higher. I think they have a higher chance than Aussie Open, but Aussie Open is just my team, and I'm picking them. Which I think they do have a very good chance of winning this. I just think this is one of those teams that has one of the best chances of winning in this tournament.
I mean, if we look down on it at Aussie Open and Naito and Sonata arguably have the most experience working together of these kind of teams right now that we have looked at before.
Other than maybe Goto and Hashi, General Jewel has a good long run in them too. But of all the teams in a high performance level, it's these two, Aussie Open and Goto and Hashi, man, of the three teams that with the experience in this.
Yeah. So, and again, I'm a big LIJ fan. We are having Naito coming off of his loss against Will Ospreay, but not to take away from him. That was a banger of a match that he performed over and above what I expected. And then we have Sonata, who also, again, performed over and above what I expected against Ren Narita. These losses aren't going to deter these men. They are going to come into this tag league. I think we're going to see a similar Sonata to how we've seen in the World Tag League in the past, where he was teamed with Evil and he was just undeniably focused on what it was he was doing. I think that we're going to have that same kind of focus now with Naito and with Sonata combined.
Yeah, it's very possible. I think with Naito having lost to Ospreay, I think his focus now will be back. It's okay, I got the tag league. Let's go get these titles. Because again, as English announcers keep saying, he's in the tail end of his career. So they were saying he wants another run at the US title, but he didn't get it. So maybe he wants that last run with a title, and maybe that's going to be the tag team titles. Again, this is why I could see them coming out. I just imagine the match. FTR versus Sonata and Naito, that's going to be bonkers if it happens.
Yeah, very much so. And that's going to be, and that could potentially be two tag teams who, again, just work so well together without communicating. FTR is another great example of that. I think that would be an incredible match, a banger for sure, because you would have the FTR hitting as hard as possible, and Naito and Sonata know how to hit as hard as possible. Plus, you have that technical prowess of Sonata. The FTR guys, they do have that technical ability too. I would personally love to see that match.
Yeah, and this is a team that's just going to come in and literally beat the living hell out of people.
I don't know angry.
This is team, I'm going to kick the shit out of you. Suzuki Guns, Minoru Suzuki, and the Murder Hawk Monster, Lance Archer, and as I always like to call him, Murder Grandpa.
Murder Suzuki. Grandpa and Murder Mohawk. That's just a scary combination.
This is going to be a team where you see a lot of teams just literally getting kicked the shit out of. Simple.
And again, we just got a shout out to the Suzuki name, Suzu Suzuki, making the top 40 of PWI 150 for the women's. I believe she was 42, 41, 42. Another Suzuki who will just hit you in the face and laugh while they're doing it. This is the team. I feel this way. I feel the same way about this team as I do about Alex Coughlin and Gabe Kidd. I don't feel like these guys are going to take a ton of wins, but I
No.
think that they are going to kick the hecking crap out of everyone they touch.
I think this is the team that's going to, and no matter who they're in the ring with, are going to have a phenomenal match with. But they're a team that is only going to pick up maybe a couple wins in this tournament. That would be against teams like Coughlin and Gabriel Kidd, maybe against a General's Jewel, or maybe against a team that's next up, and that's going to be TMDK's Mikey Nichols and Shane Hayes. This is the team going to be representing TMDK. It is not Jonah and Big Teats, who we really did think would be in this tournament this year. We were talking about it post G1. We were talking about seeing them because they were talking about it during the G1 that they would be possibly be a tag team. But we get Shane Hayes and Mikey Nichols, the original members of TMDK. I'm excited. I watched their stuff from Pro Wrestling Noah before they went to NXT. I watched them in NXT, absolutely loved them there. And then Mikey Nichols left the WWE system, and Shane Hayes went on to have a singles career in WWE, then put a weird ass mask on.
He didn't
put
drop
a weird ass mask on, called himself Slapjack for a while, and then got the hell out. But I am so looking forward to this. To see, like, when they reunited in New Japan Strong, I was so happy, and to see them getting a chance to get here on the stage, on a big stage, just is great. But again, this is another team that I don't, as much as I love them, are not going to take a lot of wins in this tournament.
I'm hoping
I could be wrong.
I was gonna say, I'm hoping you're wrong about that one. I actually really do like this tag team. Again, I've seen some of their Noah stuff. I've seen some of their very little of their NXT stuff. But from what I see of both of them, from what I've seen of their singles career, also, I definitely think that they're gonna be a fairly experienced tag team. I wouldn't say as experienced as Aussie Open or maybe Naito or Sonata, but I think that if we're going to be talking about a Final Four, that this would probably be the Final Fourth team in regards to experience.
They very much could be, and I like they have the experience. Again, they just got back to tagging together this year, and I really do look forward to seeing what these guys can do. Because I love both these guys, and I think I would love to see them go far in this tournament. I just, with certain teams that are in this, I don't see them being it. For me, the big teams are Aussie Open, Naito and Sonata, Goto and Hashi, and then the next team the final team we're about to talk about is the Great O'Khan and Aaron Hanare.
Oh yes.
Now, this is again, Jeff Cobb has pulled himself out of the tag league due to a rumored injury to his leg, but he will be competing, or as of right now, when we record this, he is supposed to wrestle at the November 20th show. Whether he will or not, we don't know. It might be an injury. It might just be he needs some time off. Because again, you get burnt out, especially when you're not in the country you're from. That's the other half. He is from America. Maybe he just needs some time off to head over back home to America for a while. Now, this team is up in the air to me on where they're going to sit. The Great O'Khan and Jeff Cobb, if it was them, yes, they were a Final Four tag team going to be down to the wire. This, with Hanare there, I don't think you can write them off in this tournament, but I don't think they have a shot at winning this tournament. In my personal opinion, I love them. I love UE, but I think the United Empire team that's going to be the contender team in this tournament is Aussie Open. What I'm really looking forward to seeing is these guys taking on Aussie Open.
If they get to that point, yeah. Oh no, they will. They will get to that point.
Everybody's facing everybody.
Everyone has to face everyone. Yeah. For myself, I mean, this team, I think I'm in the same boat as you. I think I'm a little up in the air. I know what the Great O'Khan is capable of. I've sung this guy's praises since we started this, and his adaptability to anyone he faces in the ring. And now coming up, he's got this little feud going with the Great Muta, which we will see at the crossover show. I mean, wow, he's on a roll, and he's making a name for himself. But Hanare, on the other hand, has come in very, particularly the last couple months, very aggressive, very, very strong, almost like a raging bull. It kind of feels. It almost feels like he comes in angry and he leaves angry. He maintains that consistency of anger and just intensity. That being said, again, I'm up in the air. I feel like you're probably right. I feel like it's probably, I don't feel like they maybe have the same experience that Aussie Open may have in tagging together, and that might actually be a bit of a detriment to them.
Yeah, so we'll see. And again, you never know what comes out of this tournament. For all we know, like a team like General's Jewel could win this. I've seen crazier shit happen in past years. You could see Suzuki Gun in Minoru Suzuki and Archer win this. You never know. Coughlin and Gabriel Kidd could be pushed to the moon for all we know. We don't know. That is the biggest thing. We don't know.
It's all a surprise.
Yeah.
Quelle surprise.
We will find out starting November 21st, the day after Historic Crossover, is the start of the World Tag League and the Super Junior Tag League, which will run concurrently until sometime, I think, till about mid-December. And then they start the Road to Tokyo Dome Tour. But I am insanely excited for this tournament. Melball, I know you are too.
Oh, very much so. I love these tag team tournaments. They just show off how well each of these people know each other just so well. And to me, that is what tag team wrestling is showing off how much experience you have together. You don't want to be coming out into these matches where you don't know these people or you haven't tagged with them very much and you can't string something together. So New Japan especially is something that I love for their just faction and tag team wrestling. The only thing I don't like is sometimes the guys don't come out and back their dudes up, and that's something that we'll work on together, I guess.
We'll see. Hey, maybe Big Teeth shows up to be the outside man for TMDK. You never know. I'd love to see it because I love me some Big Teeth, man.
Oh dear. And that being said, I think we've come to the end of our tag preview show here. If you're interested in Rogue Energy Drink, which Andre is sipping on today, he's got the Shirakawa special, the Mina Shakerkawa. You can scan the QR code in the corner here. He's sipping on the blood orange there. Andre, how's the blood orange taste?
So darn good. I can't
so delicious.
Can't wait.
Like Stardom, they're delicious. You can find the Rogue Energy link in the description box below. And if you use our promo code here, OLE Pods, you can get 10% off your order. And don't forget, they do have cans now. You want to give that a try. Let us know what you guys think of those.
Yeah, and so if you want to check out any of the New Japan Tag League, you can check it out for just around $10 Canadian per month. That'd be a lot cheaper in America, so check it out.
And we will leave the description for that below.
And I do want to thank our friends at Backbreaker Video. Mike, you are a godsend for us. I appreciate everything he does. You might be watching us on Backbreaker Video. You might be watching us on our own YouTube channel. I'm not sure, but thank you so much for Mike for all the support he has given us. Just this past week, he has done his awesome 12-hour live stream on Twitch. So if you can, if the link is still up, please go donate to that. But you can check him out on YouTube at Backbreaker Video, on Twitch at twitch.tv/MikeTheRef. And also want to give a big shout out to our local establishments, OLE Pods, who we are partnering with going forward, who have very much helped us out with a lot of stuff. You can find all of our live streaming things going forward, including our show this coming Sunday morning at it'll be going around 1:30 in the morning for the pre-show, maybe between 1 and 1:30 somewhere. And it's going to be myself and Melball doing a live watch along of Historic Crossover, and you can find that on twitch.tv/our local establishment. And you can find their Instagram, OLE Podcasts.
And Andre, where can we find you on Twitter?
You can find me on Twitter at That Canada Guy and on Instagram at That Canada Dude.
And you can find this Melball here on Twitter at Collins Melball and on Instagram at Melball Collins. You can also find me on Facebook under Melball Collins, and we also have our Andre and Melball Facebook fan page on Facebook as well. That being said, I'm your Melball, and that's your Andre. We'll see you next time. Adios.